Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word, and for the final time this week to another launch reaction video. It's not the final launch of the year because Ferrari will be unveiling their car next Wednesday afternoon, but earlier today we got our first look at the new Williams. Yes, and I think it's fair to say that the new look for 2021 is not what I was expecting. I thought, based on the shakedown teasers and indeed the new merch, that we were set to see a return to the navy blue and white that we've seen before. But no, now we've got various different shades of blue, a chunk of white and even some yellow on the car for the first time in quite a while, and a funky pattern across the engine cover as well. Now this one's a weird one because when I saw it initially, my reaction was something along the lines of, what the hell have they done? And I know for a fact, at least based on Twitter reaction, I'm not alone with that one. However, it's not actually that bad. Is it my favourite of the liveries we've seen so far? No, not by a long way. But it's actually okay. I am getting a lot of Sauber vibes from it though. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. And there is a nod to the past as alluded to by the team. And seeing that yellow on there is a bit of a flashback, for me at least, to the Williams liveries of the early 90s. You know, Jacques Villeneuve's title-winning car, Damon Hill's title-winning car, Prost, etc. Okay, yeah, with the tobacco sponsorship, it was more of a gold than a yellow, but it's a nod. And actually, some of the much older cars used to feature a lot more yellow too, so it's a nice touch and it's something to remember the Williams heritage, and I really like that, I do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know this is going to be a very divisive livery, but I think it's one of those that will grow on people as the season goes on. But overall, I actually do think it's okay and I quite like it, which does surprise me. And do you know what? It's something different and it will stand out from the side at least. And I'd argue that although last year's car was nice and clean, the 2021 livery is a better one. I do have a major concern though, and that is the lack of sponsorship. I know the car hasn't exactly been dripping with them over the last few years, but it really does look quite blank this year. I suppose to summarise my thoughts on the livery, it could be better, and I think it does need some refinement if they're to use it for next year, for example. So just as an example, the front and the back do feel a little bit detached, if you know what I mean. And I would actually argue, to be fair, that looking at it from the front view is actually a little bit nicer than some of the other angles we've got. But overall, it's not bad, and as I say, I do actually quite like it. But a bit like the Mercedes, I think it's going to be a grower. Anyway, when it comes to their season, I've actually got a good feeling about Williams this year. There are reasons to be optimistic. Last year, the team definitely took a good step forward, and really ever since the back end of 2019, they have been making steady progress. I'm not expecting them to suddenly be right in the midfield mix and taking on the likes of Alpine and Ferrari. That's not realistic, and I don't think anybody is thinking that. But they did end last season with a solid car that seemed a little bit quicker than the Haas and almost on par with the Alfa Romeo at some races. And the majority of that car will be used again this season, so I think the team is in a decent position. Of course, yeah, as I said yesterday, if Ferrari has sorted its power unit issues, Alfa Romeo and Haas could be stronger, and that might see Williams fall back a little bit. But even if they ended up slowest again, they won't be cut miles adrift, and I do expect the battle between those three teams to be really close. And if the TV director shows any of it to us, it could be a good watch. All of that said though, given that Haas have basically written off this year and Williams have been pretty clear that they want to continue developing the car in the early stages of 2021, I actually think they have a great shot at snatching at least 9th place in the Constructors' Championship and maybe even challenging Alfa Romeo for 8th. It might be a long shot, but there is that possibility. For me though, as good as that would be for Williams, this year is about continuing to show the positive steps they are taking to try and climb the grid. As I say, they've come a long way over the last, 18 months or so? Yeah, alright, they did still finish 10th last year and failed to score. But if you compare where they ended up on pace last year to how slow they were at the start of 2019, the progress is clear to see. And they will want to show that they can keep that up, obviously, and that's really important. And I'm confident they will. Dorilton seem to be willing to invest, and that's a big deal. There are some positive noises coming from the team, and that partnership with Mercedes is closer this year. It's going to be really interesting to see what difference that makes for the team. As for the drivers, I've got to clear some stuff up here. I think Nicholas Latifi did a solid job last year in his first season. And although only a few weeks have passed, I actually think I was a little bit harsh on Latifi in my predictions video. And based on everything we've heard from Haas over the last couple of weeks, I think I was way off with him. I do actually now think he's got a great shot at finishing above both of the Haas drivers. Of course, we'll see. And when it comes to Russell, it's a big year. As I said the other week, he will have one eye on one of those Mercedes seats. And he's going to want to have a strong season. He needs to iron out some of those mistakes, crashing under the safety car at Imola, for example. I'm not stupid. He'll know that. He'll not want to do that again. But he is going to need the team to give him a good enough car to be able to compete. But if all of that comes together, I think we could see 2 or 3 points finishes for him this year. We're not talking 2nd and 5th and 3rd or anything like that, but maybe 2 or 3 9th or 10th place finishes. Again, no, we will see. Just before I go, there have been a couple of other bits of news today, and in my view, it's all pretty much good news. This morning, Formula One confirmed that Portimao will fill the TBC slot on the calendar this year, with the Portuguese Grand Prix being run across the weekend of April 30th to May 2nd. So pleased with that news, and on top of that, Azerbaijan Grand Prix bosses have announced the race in Baku will go ahead as planned this year. However, unfortunately, but probably to be expected, the event will take place behind closed doors, so no fans will be allowed to attend. That all means we finally have a completed 23 race schedule, a schedule that kicks off with FP1 in Bahrain 3 weeks today. We are nearly there. That is it for this launch reaction video though, but you can, as always, let me know your thoughts on the 2021 Williams down in the comments section, and let me know how you think George Russell and Nicholas Latifi will get on this season as well. Now, I will be back next week to gear up for pre-season testing and with some reaction to the Ferrari launch. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy this video, then please do leave a like as it really helps out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.